Hi there, I'm Alicia Malone, and this is TCM's 31 Days of Oscar, where today we're watching a lineup of Best Picture winners and nominees. Right now, we have the winner for the film year of 1989, directed by the Aussie Bruce Beresford. Had to get that in. It's Driving Miss Daisy. Jessica Tandy stars as the Miss Daisy of the title, an older woman living in the South in the 1940s who was unable to keep driving herself. Her son, played by Dan Aykroyd, insists on hiring her a driver named Hoke, which she is not happy about, but slowly, Hoke, played by Morgan Freeman, starts to win her over. This was originally a stage play written by Alfred Yorey, who also wrote the adapted screenplay, and the play had won the 1988 Pulitzer Prize for Drama. But even with that, and with the respected Bruce Beresford joining as director, it was hard for producer Richard D. Zanuck to raise the money to finance it. As Beresford later said, one reason that was consistently given for not investing in it was that everyone kept saying no one could direct it well enough to entertain an audience for 100 minutes. In the end, Beresford agreed to forego a salary for directing in exchange for a percentage of any profits, and Beresford had immense faith that this film would find an audience. And monetarily, it worked out very well for him. Driving Miss Daisy was a huge global box office smash. The film was also nominated for 9 Academy Awards, winning 4, including Best Picture, though strangely, after all of that, Beresford was not nominated for Best Director. With Patti LuPone and a memorable music score by Hans Zimmer from 1989, this is Driving Miss Daisy. The 1990 Academy Award ceremony featured 5 films that were vying for the Best Picture Oscar: Born on the 4th of July, Dead Poets Society, Driving Miss Daisy, Field of Dreams, and My Left Foot. In the lead up to this category, Daniel Day-Lewis had won Best Actor for My Left Foot, Jessica Tandy took home Best Actress for Driving Miss Daisy, and Oliver Stone had claimed the Best Director award for Born on the 4th of July. The smart money for Best Picture was on one of the harder-hitting dramas, but in the end, Driving Miss Daisy won the top Academy Award. The category was announced by presenters Jack Nicholson and Warren Beatty, and the film's 2 producers accepted the award, Richard D. Zanuck and Lily Finney Zanuck. And yes, Richard Zanuck was the son of the legendary Darryl Zanuck and was married to Lily Finney. In their speech, Richard called out the brilliance of director Bruce Beresford, saying they were up on that podium because of him. And from Bruce Beresford to Alan Pakula, next on TCM's 31 Days of Oscar, Ben Mankiewicz will host a night of Oscar-worthy journalists, starting with All the President's Men. Enjoy.
Next on TCM, All the President's Men, then the China Syndrome, and later, Network. Oscar makes a ratings grab tonight.
Good evening, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to TCM and night 23 of 31 Days of Oscar. Since the 1st of February, every single movie on TCM has been either an Oscar nominee or winner. Every night, we're featuring actors in Oscar-nominated roles playing a specific type of character, a different one each night. Tonight, we've got actors playing journalists, from Citizen Kane to Humphrey Bogart in the 1952 noir journalism movie Deadline USA. By the way, we in the business call that journalism. We don't. No one does. Anyway, from Citizen Kane to Deadline USA to the Parallax View and Absence of Malice to Zodiac and Spotlight, journalists chasing a story doesn't merely make good copy, it often has made great cinema. And we begin tonight with a standard bearer of the genre. From Warner Brothers in 1976, Alan J. Pakula directs All the President's Men. Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman star as Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, the real Washington Post journalists who meticulously reported over days, weeks, months, and years that a 1972 break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters at the Watergate Hotel in Washington, D.C. had been funded by the committee to re-elect President Richard Nixon. While Redford and Hoffman delivered indelible performances, neither actor was nominated for an Oscar. Two actors earned Oscar nods for their supporting roles in All the President's Men. Jane Alexander is a key source to Woodward and Bernstein, and Jason Robards as Washington Post editor Ben Bradley, making him the only actor playing a journalist nominated for the film. Jason Robards was so good, so memorable, that he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Alan J. Pakula said casting Bradley was challenging. Bradley had to demonstrate authority and control over Woodward and Bernstein, no easy task playing opposite two of the biggest stars in Hollywood. Robards had made an impression on Robert Redford a decade and a half earlier when they made a 1960 television production of The Iceman Cometh. Once he came aboard, Robards quickly gained Hoffman and Redford's full respect. In shaping what became an Oscar-winning script, screenwriter William Goldman skillfully combined the golden age of Hollywood's longtime trope of everyman heroes fighting long odds with the new Hollywood's appreciation for realism and resonance. It all led to 8 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director for Alan J. Pakula. From 1976, this is All the President's Men. All the President's Men picked up 8 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. It won 4, among them Best Supporting Actor for Jason Robards as Ben Bradley and Best Adapted Screenplay for William Goldman. The 2 other wins warrant particular attention: Best Sound and Best Art Direction. The latter can best be appreciated in the stunning recreation of the Washington Post newsroom, made necessary because the Post denied the production permission to film in its newsroom except from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. So instead, the newsroom was recreated at a Burbank studio in Los Angeles for a reported $450,000. The Post did cooperate with the production's commitment to authenticity by shipping several crates of actual newsroom office crap, for lack of a better word. Unopened mail, government directories, phone books from around the country, wire service copy, and stickers from the desk of Ben Bradley's secretary. They even sent the production trash from wastebaskets, according to one story. The authenticity earned George Jenkins and set decorator George Gaines that Oscar for Best Art Direction Set Decoration. Now let's talk about the sound. That newsroom hum the movie replicated so perfectly. Years later, Robert Redford told Entertainment Weekly, "We took all the elements of their work, the typewriters, the telephones, pens on paper, and kicked up the sound. Every scene where the typewriter is used, the noise is kicked into high gear, so there's a real bang." What does it sound like? Redford asked rhetorically. It sounds like a weapon. Coming up, Jane Fonda stars as a local television news reporter who lands a hotter story than she expected when she witnesses what appears to be a serious accident at a nuclear power plant. The China Syndrome is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, the China Syndrome, then Network. and later, Woman of the Year. Oscar thinks Kate's great tonight.
Hello, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. You're watching 31 Days of Oscar on TCM, where tonight we're paying respect to the Fourth Estate with a lineup of movies where actors deliver Oscar-nominated performances playing journalists. Up next, we continue with Jane Fonda, nominated for Best Actress for her portrayal of a TV news reporter who ends up in the middle of a major story. From director James Bridges in 1979, Jack Lemmon and Michael Douglas joined Fonda for The China Syndrome. Fonda and her freelance cameraman, that's Michael Douglas, are assigned to shoot a routine local news piece about a nuclear power plant. It's a puff piece. The plant's PR people are determining what she can shoot. The power company wants the good publicity so they can open another plant elsewhere in the state. If you're a good reporter, you hate this kind of story. You feel used. Fonda's character is accustomed to that feeling. She's smart and motivated, but she's pigeonholed into covering nonsense by the station's managers who patronize her as just another pretty face. None of that matters when this nothing story becomes something big and something dangerous, when Douglas's camera captures a moment at the plant that powerful people didn't want anyone to see or understand. Just like that, Fonda and Douglas find themselves at the center of a conspiracy. They're in it with Jack Lemmon, also Oscar-nominated as a shift supervisor at the plant. He's the only person who might be willing to tell Fonda what it is she actually saw. The China Syndrome opened March 16th, 1979, to decent reviews, doing moderate business at the box office. Then history intervened. Just 12 days later, March 28th, 1979, the Unit 2 nuclear reactor partially melted down at the 3 Mile Island power plant near Middletown, Pennsylvania, not far from the state capital in Harrisburg. Remarkably, the real-world meltdown at 3 Mile Island bore a striking resemblance to the crisis fictionalized in the China Syndrome. Suddenly, the threat posed by accidents at nuclear power plants wasn't an interesting theoretical possibility. It was front-page news all over the country. As they say in Hollywood, you just can't buy that kind of publicity. The China Syndrome, already a tense and dramatic movie, became enormously relevant in an instant. It gave the film a huge and unexpected boost at the box office. It goes beyond the realm of coincidence, said Michael Douglas, who also produced the movie. It's enough to make you religious. From Columbia Pictures, 1979, nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Screenplay and Best Art Direction Set Decoration, also with Wilford Brimley, The China Syndrome. In the original script for The China Syndrome, the central character wasn't a reporter, the part played by Jane Fonda. It was a documentary filmmaker, and the part belonged to Richard Dreyfuss. But between agreeing to star in the movie and the start of production, Dreyfuss's asking price skyrocketed for 3 reasons. One, he starred in Steven Spielberg's Jaws, significantly elevating his status in Hollywood. Then there were 2 movies he had in the pipeline, both released in November of 1977. Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and the movie that earned Dreyfuss the Academy Award for Best Actor, The Goodbye Girl. With Dreyfuss suddenly unaffordable, producer Michael Douglas changed Dreyfuss's character to a female TV reporter and then cast himself as her cameraman. Jane Fonda was an anti-nuclear power activist who had unsuccessfully tried to produce a film about real-life nuclear whistleblower Karen Silkwood, a role that would later earn an Oscar nomination for Meryl Streep. Fonda agreed to play the reporter in The China Syndrome. She earned an Oscar nomination, and her company produced the film with Michael Douglas. She researched her role by reading biographies of models and actresses who were hired for local TV news primarily based on their looks. She also shadowed 4 female TV reporters in Los Angeles. Fonda said her character has to make a choice between job security and social responsibility, a balancing act that mirrors Fonda's own career choices as an actress and activist. Coming up, another classic journalism movie from the 1970s, this one featuring Peter Finch in an Oscar winning performance. Network is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Network, then Woman of the Year, and later, the front page, Oscars in the headlines tonight.
Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. You're watching 31 Days of Oscar on TCM, where our focus tonight is on actors nominated for Academy Awards for playing journalists. Earlier tonight, we had Jason Robards, a winner for Best Supporting Actor, as Washington Post editor Ben Bradley in All the President's Men. Coming up, a movie competing head-to-head with All the President's Men at the Academy Awards in 1977. In fact, one of the men Robards had to beat for Best Supporting Actor was Ned Beatty in the movie we have next. From 1976. Faye Dunaway, Peter Finch, and William Holden lead the cast of Network. Whereas All the President's Men holds up journalism as a vital guardrail against government power and corruption, Network transmits a different message. In Network, the journalism being practiced, if you can even call it that, is laced with cynicism and contempt. But that does not keep this film from being one of the finest movies ever made. Network earned 10 Oscar nominations, 5 for its actors, 2 for supporting roles, Ned Beatty for Best Supporting Actor, and Beatrice Straight, who won for Best Supporting Actress. All 3 of the leads earned nominations, William Holden and Peter Finch for Best Actor, Faye Dunaway for Best Actress. Both Finch and Dunaway won. You are about to see a screen laden with brilliant performances. I haven't even mentioned Robert Duvall as the network news president. Based on an Academy Award-winning script by Patty Chayefsky, this is a drama set at a fictional television network in New York. Initially, the film focuses on the story of the network's nightly news anchorman, a veteran journalist named Howard Beale. That's Finch. But when Beale learns he's about to be served his walking papers, let's just say the picture takes a turn, showcasing the depths of corporate greed and TV sensationalism. Some of it seems so spot on, it reads kind of quaint today. In 1976, though, this was fairly shocking. The top of the original poster read, "Prepare yourself for a perfectly outrageous motion picture," suggesting a satire. Let me tell you, it does not play much like satire today. Decades after Network hit theaters, Oscar-winning screenwriter Aaron Sorkin wrote, "No predictor of the future, not even George Orwell, has ever been as right about anything as Patty Chayefsky was when he wrote Network." Here's the film from 1976, nominated for Best Picture, directed by Sidney Lumet, also a nominee, Network. Peter Finch, through Howard Beale, gave us the line, written by Patty Chayefsky, "I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore." The American Film Institute ranked it as the 19th best line in the history of American movies. Finch was one of 5 actors from Network nominated for Oscars. William Holden, as the film's conscience, semi conscience, earned a Best Actor nomination along with Finch. Then there's Ned Beatty delivering that epic speech. You are an old man who thinks in terms of nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems, one vast, interwoven, interacting, multinational dominion of dollars. I mean, maybe Paddy Chayefsky meant it as satire in 1976, but it feels more like a lecture at a class at Wharton today. Anyway, Ned Beatty earned that supporting actor nomination. Beatrice Straight, who played Holden's wife, won the Best Supporting Actress Oscar, and Faye Dunaway, just brilliant from the first frame to the last, won Best Actress. On January 13th, 1977, Peter Finch appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson to promote Network. The next morning, he was in the lobby of the Beverly Hills Hotel waiting for director Sidney Lumet to meet him for breakfast. Finch had a heart attack in the lobby. He died the same day. He was 60 years old. Just over 10 weeks later, on March 28th, Finch won the Academy Award for Best Actor, becoming the first actor to win a posthumous Oscar. Coming up, Katharine Hepburn plays a sophisticated political columnist who falls for Spencer Tracy's workaday sports writer in Woman of the Year. That's ahead on Turner Classic Movies.
Next on TCM, Woman of the Year, then the front page, and later, the Battle of Midway. Oscar beats the odds today.